We're going to talk about lower decks in this video, Perth Ferengi's Heart Place, and we'll also talk about one of the very short treks, the latest one that came out this week. Unfortunately, while Lower Decks rightly is on Paramount Plus along with the rest of Star Trek, for some reason they decided to put very short treks just on YouTube, because I don't think that Paramount Plus really wanted to sour their position by having them there. And as we all know, anybody and anything can get on YouTube. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd, and Perth Ferengi's Heart Place refers to a honeymoon hotel, and there are hijinks to be had. The Cerritos and another starship have come to Ferengi in order to oversee signing of some routine papers for Ferengis to join the Federation. This is an early understanding thing, and the admiral that's in charge of this thinks that it's going to be the quickest signing ever. And Freeman is, of course, skeptical of this. She knows that the Ferengi don't really respect anyone who will just sign something. So that's what the captain is doing, but our lower decks people have been given the job of updating the travel guide. And so they divided it up where Boimler took the hotels, where Mariner took the bars, and they faked a marriage between Rutherford and Tendi to review this honeymoon hotel. Now, all of the characters behave in their characteristic ways, and the comedy comes, of course, from the uneasiness of Rutherford and Tendi of playing a married couple, where at first they thought it was going to be fun, but as it got more real, it became quite embarrassing to the both of them. And they found out also what the greatest crime on Ferengi is, which made them also very uncomfortable with it. We have Boimler, who is in a hotel room. He is intending to set the record on how many hotels that he can review, but unfortunately he finds that he is stuck in front of a television with all kinds of reality cop shows and various shows that we have on television here today. And he is, of course, foreign to all of this and absolutely drawn in by it, amazed at their commercials and especially product placement. And that just kind of pokes us in the eye a little bit. Of course, there's plenty of Easter eggs with regard to Star Trek, of course, as they always do. The planet itself looks to be covered in businesses, and one of them we see early on is Uncle Quark's bar, and also the place where Mariner first goes with a Ferengi friend of hers is a place, well, it's actually the public library, but since nobody's read a book on Ferengi in 1,000 years, they just made that into a bar and casino. So what we have here is, and it says something about our regard for libraries these days. There's really no profit in it, so why not make them something else? Anyway, that's the gist of the story as it goes on, the A and B plots. Of course, we know that Mariner is going to get drunk and get in trouble. We know that Tendi and Rutherford are going to have difficulty in being dishonest, and Boimler is going to be glued to the television. It's funny, and many things than the details that you'd be interested in seeing. Now, thing that interested me was that they mentioned rules of acquisition. Now, we've been keeping track of them as we've been reviewing Deep Space Nine, and up to now, we have had 5 different rules that have been mentioned. And while Lower Decks did one earlier during their Hear All, Trust Nothing episode, number 9, Opportunity plus Instinct equals Profit, they mention it there. We have 2 of them here, one of them which is brand new. Now, they mention 62, which was also in Deep Space Nine. The riskier the road, the greater the profit. But they invented a brand new one, number 8, small print leads to large risk. So there we have a little addition to Ferengi culture there, and another enjoyable episode of Lower Decks. Now, I have different opinions of the very short treks. As I mentioned in the open, I just don't care for it. And in this case, they had once again a revisit of the everything someone says offends somebody, which wasn't funny in the first episode, and it's not funny here. And then they go into a song, and this is somewhat similar to some of the cartoons of the era. My best memory is of, Josie and the Pussycats was one. Frankenstein Jr. and the Impossibles sang a song somewhere during the cartoon, and so did Josie and the Pussycats. And there were others. And it's been parodied before, of where, they have some kind of superhero doing something and then they all play in a band. That's what they did here. And it was clever that they used some of the Trek sound effects and some clips from the original cartoon. It's all to mark the 50th anniversary of the animated series. But it kind of makes a mockery of the animated series, in my opinion. And while, there's a couple of jokes that hit, I find the whole thing pretty much a waste of time. I'm glad that whoever produced these very short treks wasn't producing Lower Decks. It never would have lasted if that were the case. And I don't know why Vince McMahon couldn't do the very short treks and parody that. It would have been much funnier, it would have been much smarter, and it would have had respect for the previous productions. Okay. Thank you for joining us. If you have not yet seen it, it's already down. It is the Babylon 5 episode for this week. And then on Tuesday, we'll be back with the original series. And on Wednesday, of Deep Space Nine. And on Wednesday, we'll be back with the original series reviews and all of these things. So we hope that you will stay tuned to this channel as you can. And until next time, don't go far.